Welcome back, viewers at home. You're certainly joining us right here on INX Prime Channel 345 on your DSTV decoder. Now we're about to delve into a very interesting conversation because my guest tonight with her latest book, challenging us to grow and reflect, with her commitment to mental health advocacy, she has touched countless lives. And tonight she joins us to share on her journey, her insights on mental health, and her vision for a world where mental health is a priority. I am welcoming to the show this evening Phophi Shalom Ndou, who will tell us more about all things that we need to know to grow as well as reflect. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me today. You're welcome.
Now, before we get to...
Some people get into conflicts. People just quarrel sometimes because they're not okay emotionally. Because there's hurt people hurt others.
Yes.
Yeah. So people tend to hurt the other people. Now it's a chain of people who are broken because we have people who are broken and they are not finding help or they are not healing. Then they tend to hurt the other people. So we get to have the whole generation of broken people.
So in your writing, so you, just for clarity, you write from observing certain like mental health issues that people are suffering with, or do you get to also engage to find out, or a bit of it is also from your personal journey?
It is both. It's observing the personal journey and finding out on people that are around me, people that I associate myself with.
Interesting. And now, regarding your books, I want to find out, how do you then balance the concept of vulnerability with self-care when writing about such emotional charged points?
Pardon?
I want to find out from you in terms of the concept of how do you then balance vulnerability with that of self-care, considering that when you write about mental health, it doesn't go without affecting an individual who is writing or who is involved in this process.
You take break. So sometimes me, as I'm writing about, when I say I'm a mental health advocate, also myself, I go for professional help to build resilience.
Interesting. And what do you think are the most pressing challenges in the field of mental health advocacy at current?
Accessibility and stigma. We're living in a society where everything is stigmatized. You go out there and say that you are not okay, you're stigmatized. You go and say your problem, they're going to say you are weak or something. So the stigma and accessibility, because you find that there are people, especially at young age and so on, or the elder people, you can notice that these people are struggling emotionally, they are struggling psychologically. But then when you try to find out and you check, or did you get the child professional help? Did you try and get psychological help? They be like, where will I get it? Or some of the people, they still have that mentality of saying seeking for professional help is for people with money, is for people, it's for white people and so on. They still have that thing in mind, or it's like you're being dramatic when you say you are not okay in a way that you need psychological help.
And do you see any promising solutions or approaches that can be of assistance in addressing this issue?
I think we can create a comfortable environment for people to voice out and heal and stop the stigma, so that everyone can take any path which lead them to healing. Because people find therapy in different things.
Yeah.
The other people will go for sports, they will go jogging, some will go reading, some will go writing, some will go painting. They find therapy in different things, but still they don't do that thing for therapy maybe day by day, because they are also running away from stigma that they're being dramatic. It's not that deep. So we have to create a comfortable space for everyone to do whatever it takes them to take care of their emotions, to go for healing.
And what advice would you share with someone who's struggling with mental health?
I would say to them, silence is not golden. It's suffocating. And they shouldn't be too hard to themselves. They should take one step at a time, and they shouldn't be afraid of speaking out and seeking for help. So I will repeat and say, seeking for psychological help is not being dramatic. Though the other people may say it's not too deep. If it is hurting you or it's not sitting well with you, then it is deep. You need help. You need to heal.
Now, in your book, there are themes that are meant to challenge the reader around growth and reflecting. And I want to find out from you, looking at your personal journey, what would you say were moments where you needed to reflect and you didn't reflect, and there were moments of potential growth, but because something was holding you back, you couldn't tap into that growth?
Sometimes you feel like you're strong, and you are not strong. Sometimes what I realize about the emotions is you do not choose how to react unto a particular situation at the particular time. Sometimes things that come, the situation comes, and then it feels like it's just a minor thing. But it's hurting you. It's really bothering you, and you and I be like too hard to yourself and be like, it's just a small thing. You're too hard to yourself. You cannot process your emotions accordingly because you're trying to act strong. Also that thing of saying, what will people say? Or you'll be like, nah, I should have overgrown this. No, I've outgrown this. You don't outgrown your emotions. If you're feeling in a certain way, allow yourself to reflect. So on my side, that would be the case mostly, and I'll be like, nah, this is just a minor thing. Why is it bothering me this much? Sometimes I'll be like, should I seek for help? But it's just a minor thing. Why can I see a psychologist for such thing? But yet it was still bothering me.
And now looking at the concept of expressing one's emotion through writing, how does that work? How would you describe that process to someone who wants to start, because probably they don't feel comfortable talking to anyone or going to anyone? I think that I could be wrong. Maybe they want to start with writing their emotions and feeling comfortable with that. How do you best advise one does that?
That is one of the best way of healing. You get to pour out your heart the way you want. You can use all the words that you want. You can express yourself anyhow than when you're talking to somebody else. When you talk to somebody else, you tend to have filter that, okay, there was this, I cannot really say it like this. I cannot really express it like this. So when you're writing, you be like, if it takes you to be like, Mara, I've been a fool. You say it like that, but you cannot say it simply like that to somebody else. Or what got into me? So you tend to have the filters when you're explaining to somebody else. But when you are writing, you pour everything out. You pour everything out. You're in your space. You don't filter anything.
And as you mentioned earlier on, Bobby, on the different manners or approaches someone can take in terms of addressing whatever mental issue they might have, be talking to someone, recognizing the stigmas and not being defined by the stigmas, and now, writing is a means of expressing one's emotions. How does one then get to sort of tailor fit what the solutions are to their daily routine and be consistent to it? Because I think a lot of times in our era right now, everyone speaks on the idea of, I don't have time, there's so much to do, I don't even have the time to sit down and like have a glass of water, and so much and so much. So what advice would you share to someone in terms of how do they get to integrate whatever's out there to assist one in addressing whatever mental issues you might have and being consistent with that?
We, like we are saying, we are the busy generation. You always have a lot to do and so on. But the spare time that you have, then you need to schedule it on what is it that is working for you. If you're going for a therapy, there's teletherapy that you can substitute going for the therapy which consumes more time, and then you do the teletherapy is still speaking to a professional about how you're feeling, about your emotions. If you're into healing through literacy, means before bed, the time that you are going to be on the TikTok or something, just that 30 minutes, you're reading, and then you're going to bed. So it's also going to as well help you to rock yourself out to sleep, because it's going to distract your mind from overthinking and thinking about everything that has been happening. Then now you focus on the story that you're reading, you try to process and so on, then you go to sleep. It doesn't really need a whole day for you to do that. Let's just say like people who use jogging, who go for exercising, it is only 30 minutes of you going for exercising. It's only 20 minutes of you doing yoga. That is one of the things that may help you to heal.
And anything on the horizon in terms of, I mean, seeing that you are a motivational speaker and an author at that, should we expect any project, any books on the horizon?
Yes, more books. Like like I said, like I encourage people to find healing through reading and writing.
And what's are some of the pointers you believe outside of growth and reflecting that your book offers to the readers?
Through my books, you're gonna heal. You're gonna find the confidence. You're gonna find it's gonna teach you life as a whole. It's gonna teach you about emotional intelligence, intellectual intelligence, and then above all, you're gonna find growth. You're gonna find healing.
And as we close off our conversation, Poppy, I want to find out from you in terms of where can viewers get a hold of your book, and secondly, connect with you, and lastly, any words of inspiration you'd like to leave us with.
Okay, people can find me on my social media, and then on Facebook I'm Phophi Shalom Ndou. On Instagram I'm Shalom Ndou, and then on TikTok I'm Shalom. And then should I say my number as well?
Yeah, if you feel comfortable.
Okay, 063 658 6083. Okay, the Espral word, since I'm talking about mental health, I'm still gonna say silence is not golden, it's suffocating. Don't be afraid to speak up, don't be too hard to yourself. Take care of yourself like the person, it's inside you, your soul, your spirit. So your psychological well-being, it's you. So you're definitely killing yourself, though you are still working, if you're not taking care of yourself psychologically. So make sure that you are okay psychologically, your mental health matters.
Poppy, thank you once again for joining us and really, leaving us with such very inspiring words. And hopefully viewers at home will get in touch with you, if not, buying your books to find out more on how they can continue to grow, reflect, and be their better versions of themselves. But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Viewers at home, that was the author as well as motivational speaker, Phophi Shalom Ndou, who was sharing in terms of, what it takes for you to be a best version of yourself and look into what works for you at the time in which that works for you. And hopefully that breeds results for you, not only emotionally, but also psychologically and just the overall well-being at that. But for now, let's head over to an ad break. We'll see you just after this.